a lot of people, their children are still in Nigeria. Bovi went to a Nigerian school and he came out reasonably well. And so it's not that bad. Taking
it's not.
your kid to one American school or one Japan school doesn't mean that they are not going to bully. As a matter of fact, that's when they are even going to bully him very well. Like, where is this black monkey coming from?
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, true.
So it shouldn't be.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Funtaqa Junction podcast. Real talk, the home of free minds and free speech. I'm your host, LA. And joining me on the show today is my usual rock steadies. I had a plan to introduce this guy as the guy that wears the shades, even when there's a solar eclipse. But today, he shamed me. He didn't wear shades.
Yeah.
Resh.
Yeah, how are we doing? Yeah, it's the Junction.
It's Junction.
Where we get it rolling.
Get it rolling.
That's how we roll.
It's good to have you guys on the show today. We also have another guest for your listening and viewing pleasure. Say hello to the lovely, delectable. She's been on the show before. She was so good. We have to have her come back. Essay.
Yeah, not one, not twice, not 3 times.
Hello, guys. Happy to be back again.
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
And I'm loving what we're going to be discussing today.
Really?
Yes.
You are excited. You want to
I'm
get the cat out of the
excited.
bag.
Yeah,
Now only me feel less cat out of the bag for you. Please be careful. All right. So like you said, we'll just jump right into it, right? Because today is going to be sharp and straight to the point. I saw something that was interesting. It was a news article. It shocked me because I wasn't expecting it. Apparently, Bovi, the comedian, has relocated to the UK. Wild. He's relocated himself and his family to the UK. And the reason why he did that, he said he had to relocate his kids to the UK because of bullying in Nigerian schools. I thought that was interesting when he said bullying was the reason why he was moving his kids out of Nigeria. Because I would have thought that the UK, for example, probably has much more worse bullying situation than Nigeria, right? But that's why we have you on the show, because I say you are a child educator par excellence, right?
Yay!
You have like 20 years experience handling children and teaching. So I think before we start, you can just give us a little bit of background into your experience with dealing with children, and then we can go into this conversation around bullying in Nigerian schools. Is it really a thing, or are we just being too sensitive?
Okay, thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Essay, and I'm an elementary educator. I'm an elementary teacher. So I work with kids in the primary school. Well, someone said he doesn't like using the word kids, so let me say use children.
Children.
So I work with children in primary school. And teaching generally, if I'm going to add youth service, the time I taught before I went for service, I think I would say I have like over 7-8 years of experience teaching and working with children. During my service, before I went for service, and during service year, I taught in secondary school.
Okay.
Yes, so, but after that experience, I decided that no, I'm going to just stick with the kids. Let me stick with the children.
Where those secondary school students get, they can beat you.
I'm telling you. And that issue of boys crushing on their teacher. I had that. Yes.
Interesting.
I had that.
Interesting.
And it was just, I don't know what to talk about, but I decided I was going to deal with the children, and I would say it has been a roller coaster ride. It has been a fun one. It has been a loving one, and I'm actually grateful to God for this. It's a calling. That's what I said, that teaching is a calling. It's not just a job. They will say, oh, anybody can teach. Yes. But not everybody can pass on information in a way that people would understand, that children would understand, because you are coming from a place of known to the unknown, unknown to the known. Do you understand? So it's a calling, and it goes beyond the classroom. It goes beyond that, place where you are seated and you have to, facilitate learning. It goes beyond that. As a teacher, you are a counselor, you are a friend, you are a mommy or a daddy if you need to be.
Yeah.
And you are a therapist.
Absolutely.
A lot of things. So, but it's also good for you as a person,
individual.
you that you are, and you as a teacher, you learn a lot. Yeah. And I would say I've learned a lot. I've grown, and I'm still growing in this job. Yeah.
So the bullying conversation.
Okay. But before you told me about it, I didn't know he had relocated his whole family. I thought it was just his son, because his son was schooling there. So I thought maybe it was his son that was just going to secondary school. Then I saw his daughter. I thought maybe she went for a visit. So I didn't think the whole family went. But, you telling me, and it was because of bullying, I can understand his stance as a parent. And when I read about it, he said that the Nigerian school system has accepted bullying, which I would say to an extent it is true. We really do not have laws from the government or from the federal government that really stands against bullying in schools. Most of the time when you go to the government schools, they'll tell you that, and you complain. Especially those that went to boarding schools, because he said his son, according to Bovi, his son is in a boarding school. That he went to boarding school, and boarding school made him street smart.
Yeah.
But, the experience that he had, he doesn't want his son to have that experience, and so he takes him to a boarding school in the UK, where this very possible he is still going to face some sort of bullying. Because in UK is one place where they also, I think from what I read, the average, child around the world, we have like the statistic was 86%, and UK is about 76% bullying. It has reduced, but they also still go through the situation of ninth violence also. Aside from verbal and emotional bullying, they also have physical bullying. So UK is one place where you are going to, go through stuff like that. And when I was reading about it, I saw comments. One person was like, "Oh, he went through serious bullying in UK. They would bully you because of your race. They would bully you for a lot of other things." So some people are saying it's from fire pan to fire. For me, I feel like it's okay for him to want to protect his children. It's okay. But at the same time, relocating that child to another country that is still known for something like that does not guarantee that he or she will not be bullied. But where it now makes a difference is that where he's taking this child to, there are laws binding schools, binding educational system to ensure that bullying is not tolerated in their facility or in their organization. But here, our government don't really care about stuff like that. It's only in some private and international schools that they will take bullying seriously. But normal government school, they'll just tell you, they've done it to you. Don't worry, when you get to senior class, you to do it to your juniors. And you just have to grow a thick skin.
Who's the person that will tell them that type of thing?
The teachers.
To you.
The teachers, the house masters, yes. That's one thing that made me decide that I'm not going to take my children to a boarding school. Because I've heard stories, some friends have had experiences of boarding school bullying.
Yeah.
And, I said my child will not go, be going and be coming. So I'll see you every day.
Yeah. So let me say, like, in your experience, right, couple of years teaching kids, and I'm sure you've taught in different schools, right? Have you experienced or observed under your care at that basic, below 8, 9 years old, have you experienced in Nigeria while you're teaching bullying amongst, students?
Yes, it's I've been privileged to work in international schools. So schools, private schools, where they not only run Nigerian curriculum, they run British curriculum or, Cambridge curriculum. We use international curriculum.
Yeah.
So in those type of schools, it is very essential because, first of all, Nigeria was colonized by the British. And in the UK, they don't tolerate bullying. And that is what we're imbibing based on, our educational... Yes, based on that. All right. So these international schools that are affiliated with this, with UK mostly, once you come into the school, like where I work right now, once you come in, you clearly see it boldly written, this is a no bullying zone. So the children are very much aware that you do not put your hands on someone for any reason. There are some times it will happen. And I would say that I've not really experienced someone bullying the other person.
Yeah, so, sorry, if I was going to ask, is it just only putting hands on?
No.
Yeah, so
No. We have, verbal bullying. There's a case of emotional bullying. When you're saying things about someone, especially either it's because of their color, because of their financial status, or maybe something that you know about this person and you are using it against that person. Do you understand? Now, I've had a case where a new child, so when you have new intakes, they tend to face some sort of segregation. Now, bullying is, when an occurrence keeps happening, there's a repeated occurrence. So for the fact that someone does it once or twice, it shouldn't be termed bullying. But when it's a repeated occurrence and this child has complained once, twice, 3 times, then we can say, okay, it's like this thing is becoming a bullying situation.
Yeah.
So I've experienced a new child that came into my class, and she's in a new environment. Definitely she wasn't feeling loved, but we tried. My job as a teacher is to ensure that we all love each other in the classroom, whether you have been here since first term or you are coming in second term. You should love everybody and make sure that everyone feels equally seen. So she was trying to make friends, and those that have been there for some time were not really making her feel welcome, and it was looking like something was going wrong. And she would go back home and complain, oh, they pushed me in class, they did this to me, and the mom was very, very, very concerned. That gets to now tell you as a teacher that, because sometimes children go back to say things that didn't happen. They only relate these stories based on how they were feeling. So they are not feeling good about their day. They didn't feel happy. And so something like a shove happens by mistake.
Yeah.
Say someone pushed me.
Yeah.
It was like this. Do you understand? So, I had to step in and tell the mom that this is what happens in the classroom. This was not really the situation, and I also had to speak to the child herself. I had to let her know that you need to be able to stand up for yourself in situations.
Yeah.
When someone is telling you something or making you feel a certain type of way, it is okay for you to say, oh, I do not like what you are doing.
Yeah.
I don't like how you are making me feel. If I do it to you, how would you feel? Or if I did this to you, how would you feel?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I feel parents also should take charge of their children's emotion and help your children take charge of their own emotion.
Yeah.
If someone is making you feel a certain type of way or saying things that you don't agree with, you should be able to speak up. And so in schools, you hear people talk about, in my school, we actually have a time on our timetable where it's dedicated to public speaking. So we teach children how to speak publicly and to be able to stand up for it. And there's something we call assertiveness. Assertiveness is not about you being aggressive or making your opinion, being heard by force. You can say something without hurting the other person, but being confident. So that is where, when your peer sees that this child is an assertive person, is confident, they will not be able to tell you some things.
Yeah.
They will not be able to make you feel a certain type of way.
I agree.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, Bovi taking his child away from Nigerian school because of bullying, I get it. Maybe he has complained to the authorities and nothing was being done. But at the same time, you need to teach your child how to speak for his or herself.
Be bold and confident.
Stand, be confident. Look that person in the eye and let the person does it. The next time, you won't do it again.
Yeah.
That's the thing about children.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. There was a report where someone had claimed to do research in Nigeria and said about 78% records of bullying.
Yeah.
In Nigeria. However, the authority on the statistics in the country, that's the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS, said that that percentage cannot be validated because an actual study has not been done to verify that amount, right? I think the idea that people have is that bullying is quite prevalent in Nigeria. But if I bring it back home and I try and relate it with us as individuals who also pass through the school system as youngins, what do we call bullying? Because I know that I also went to boarding school. My first few years, I went to Caleb. And in the first few years in boarding school, you had that old seniors and juniors, and then your seniors, they're like demigods, right? You fetch water for them. You understand? Your provision, as you are coming to school, that provision, say don't do half. Half is for you, half is for senior Joshua. Do you understand? It's not contestable. As you are coming, you are submitting it. For us, or I still speak for myself, for me, I didn't really see that as bullying, right? I kind of saw that as normal level, right? Like the rite of passage.
It's rite of passage.
Right? Some of the things that you have to deal with, and it helps you, just toughen you up, right? As you grow. But so that's the question. The question then is, at what point do we draw the line between what's okay for character development and things that we should absolutely shut down? And I throw out to Resh first, right? At what point do you say, oh, if this and this and this happen to you, like maybe a senior is telling you, sweep the room or sweep the corridor of the hostel. Is that bullying? Or what are the things that can happen where we say, nah. That's not character development. That's crossing the line. Let's stop it there.
Yeah, so, the rite of passage that you talk about, I think that's just general knowledge for everybody. If you are entering the secondary school, if you're in boarding school or you're a day student and stuff, those are the things that happen. Me too, was I bullied? I can't really say I was bullied because I had my uncle in school. He was
a teacher.
No, he was in school.
Okay.
Uncle, but the way some uncles cannot really not necessarily be uncle
in
age.
Okay.
So he was in school, he was in the highest and it was one of those guys that was happening, So I had
So
that
you had
cover.
immunity.
Yeah, I had immunity. So what I think when it gets too much, when it gets to the point where the kids' morale is getting, like diminished, we can say that has gotten extreme, because even the senior guys that we're talking about, they know when not to go too far, because it's just the normal thing that happens in school, rite of passage. You have to go through this experience, so that you are getting baptized into, into the school. And then when you are of age, you begin to, do your own thing and all. So, but if the way I look at it is, even if you have that, senior, person that you report to and stuff, they also serve as a cover for you, where nobody else would come and harass you anyhow and stuff, because you have your Uncle Joshua, like you said, and when they know that you're Uncle Joshua's corner, nobody wants to deal with you and all, So I wouldn't say that one is bullying. That one is just a normal thing that goes on in school. You may like it, you may not like it, but that's just.
So if a senior tells you, or if an older kid in the hostel tells you to bring your provisions for him to eat, that's not bullying.
The older one,
yeah,
I wouldn't say that's bullying. I wouldn't say that's bullying.
That's
just
bullying.
No, I wouldn't say. You see, except of course we just want to be educational. We just want to sound, intelligent, and But these are the things that goes on. It's not like it is right. It's not like I can't even say maybe there is a law that guides that and stuff. It's just normal things that goes around in school.
We may have normalized something as an abnormality, though.
Yes.
Well,
it's an abnormality that has been normalized.
We could look at it as abnormal, but at the same time, there are some things that goes on around the school environment that is just stuff that, But I get the part where it may be abnormal, really. Because your food is your food, your provision is your provision.
Yes.
Nobody should come and say they have rights to it or whatever.
Or somebody tells you, go and wash my clothes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That happens a lot in school.
Of course. That one happens. Or go
but
and
we
fetch water.
normalize it like that's what
Or
should
go and
be.
fetch water.
So I say you think that's not acceptable, right? We should
That's
draw the
not
line there.
acceptable. For the life of me, I can never understand why someone thinks because he's older than me in class or age, you have rights to control me. This is somebody else's child, and you are someone else's child. You have no rights over whatever he has. Do you understand? In as much as, and that is why we are the parents of now. That is why we don't want our children to go through those type of things.
Yeah.
Because even though, according to Resh, it was the norm, we didn't feel good about it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody felt good then when you were in that situation that, your senior is going to take your snack and all of those things.
Yeah.
Yes, it built some people.
I know that feeling.
It made you strong. Some people. Because some people, it did not make them strong. I know of my hostel mate when I was in university. He said he did boarding school from just 1 to 3. And he said every time that he was going back to school, he would cry. Yeah. He would roll on the floor and say, Daddy, please don't take. He was a boy. He's a boy. Oh. He's a guy. He said he would beg his dad, say, Daddy, please.
So the question that I want to ask is, where is the parent's role in this particular situation that you're talking about? Because what you're saying that, okay, we're looking at it as parent. If I'm a parent and my child is crying like that heavily, I want to know what's going on. Why are you crying like that?
It's the same thing that we are talking about.
And also, it may also be that the kid doesn't like boarding school. They just don't like that environment. They don't like the ambience of, I can't eat what I want to eat when I'm at home.
Yeah.
I can't do all those stuff and all.
Yeah.
That may also be the reason why they don't want to go back. So
that may be bully, right?
Yeah.
I'll attest to that, right? So the reason why I stopped going to boarding school was my second or third year. I was supposed to go back and resume. And I remember that day I cried like hell to my mom. I said, I don't want to go back. And it wasn't because I was being bullied. I just didn't like the environment. The whole regimented, wear school uniform, siesta by 2. Bro, I felt like my life was like a concentration camp.
So
I didn't want to go back. And my mom was like, I felt she was like, you go. When she saw I was that display, like I was catching everywhere. She said, okay, you're not going back. Right.
Yeah.
So
my friend's situation was bullying.
Okay.
He
fair.
said, that situation where the senior will tell you, go and carry my bucket, fetch water for me. He said that when they're leaving the hostel, nobody wants to be the last, because the last person will do the work for all the seniors the next day. You fetch water for them. And he said that there was a particular senior, like if he wants to punish you, he would ask you to stay under his bed and he would be kicking you, like, so that was what he was going through. And our parents then would say, go, you're too lazy, go learn for there, you understand, go and
what year is this? Way back
early 2000s.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They want you to be strong. But I think he said it took him falling really sick. It was like he almost died. The mother said, I beg, this one is more than development or being strong. Please don't let my son die.
Yeah.
And they had to withdraw him. And it was like, that was this is 1 to 3 were the happiest moments of his life, because
Okay, so I had a situation, just to back up what you said, and I'm talking from a parent standpoint. So there was a situation that happened. The school is in Ibadan. So there was a situation that happened, and the young boy reported to the mom that this was what happened. And the mom went to the school. The mom said she wants to see the boy and all. So it was and the mom was very dramatic. The mom went to the boy. The mom told the boy, ever in your life, if I see you do anything to my boy, no. And also, because of reputation, when they say you got a rep, that's what they say in those schools. The children, they also don't want to tell their mom, or they don't want to tell their parents. So because somebody is kind of like, bullying you, you now want to bring your parent. They will say, no, he's a small boy. So you don't want to do that. But he just told his parent, and then the parent went. That was the last that he was bullied. So I'm also looking at it from the parent standpoint now.
Yeah. The things that parents need to do to protect.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Maybe you might need to show small weedy.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. I feel parents also need to protect. If your child is saying something.
Yeah.
Yes, we know. I've experienced, when children mix truth with lies. So you need to find out what is happening.
What is truth, really?
Find out from the teacher. Find out from the school management what is actually going on. It could be that your child doesn't just like that child, and he just wants to get him into trouble. It could be that the 2 children in question have conflicts, and this one goes back home to say, oh, he's bullying me. And so you need to also let them understand what bullying is and what it is not.
Exactly.
Because someone pushed you today, say, he's bullying me. It's just one push.
Yeah, that's a thin line that you have to draw.
Yes, you need to be able to draw where, this is a harmful behavior, and if it has been reoccurring over and over again, you need to address it as a school or as a parent.
Yeah.
And if your child is the one that is being bullied, you need to address the school and talk to them. Then also speak to your child. Let your child know that you cannot be bullied. You shouldn't allow someone bully you.
Yeah. Because
the same mouth and the same brain, everything that you have, is the same thing that other person has.
No, but there are some.
Do you understand? Yeah, so I feel like you should be able to.
There's some bullying
speak to your child.
English.
There are some guys that were in that class where your classmate, the guy is just big for nothing. Why is he big?
When I was in secondary school, I think we were 2 or 3 girls that were very small in stature, and I never felt in my life that anyone
could talk to you.
I'm telling you,
it's a confidence thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a confidence thing. Some kids are born with confidence. Like just like you said, when I was also in the school, I was in a smaller frame actually. It was over time I started, becoming taller and all that. I was actually quite small. But I was never bullied by anybody. Not even the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. Like the seniors will enter a room and tell everybody to kneel down or lie on the ground. And I'll just tell the senior like, oh, I have a headache. I want to go to the sick bay. I joke you not. They'll allow me go. And everybody else will lie down. Right? Because I also had this confidence like aura. Like, do you understand?
Yes.
But some people, they'll be like, some kids are like trembling. Like, if you just see and you don't start trembling.
Shaking.
And they know that you're easy prey.
Yes.
So that's why I agree with you. Like, parents need to be able to actually, if you observe that your child doesn't have that natural confidence,
yes,
you probably need to actually
work on it.
It starts from the home, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let them know, like, bro, it's not about your size or how strong you are. It's just your mindset. If you believe that nobody can come and just take what belongs to you or tell you to go and wash their clothes, you should put that in the child's mind. Like, even when the child responds to the bully in school, like, I'm sorry, I can't wash your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
The bully said, "Go shop."
Yes, what is this?
Like, they'll be like, let's say you get coconut, say that. Don't be shakara, you small, but if you stand your ground, that'll be the end of
They'll
it.
leave you, yes.
Yeah, to be fair. All right, I think as we want to wrap up this particular discussion, I want to go back to something you said earlier where you talked about the curriculum. Because you obviously, you're a high-end, what you call a high-end teacher. You teach, you teach British children. And they run on the British curriculum and all that, the Cambridge curriculum. But if you look at the Nigerian education system as a whole, especially for the elementary space, because I also think one of the reasons why Bovi could have taken his child away is maybe things, what are they even teaching the kids? Right? Probably outdated stuff and all that. And he wants to go to the UK where they're giving them like new technologies and stuff. Do you feel like the current primary education system in Nigeria is still good enough, to equip our kids for today's age, or is it obsolete? And maybe there's a need to begin to overhaul the curriculum, the teaching aids, the style of delivering the educational system and all that.
Yes, our Nigerian curriculum seriously needs a reform.
Damn.
Serious, as in there is a serious need for reform in our educational system, especially the curriculum. Now, the world has gone beyond first of all, the government schools. Let me just say the government schools.
That's public schools.
Yes, right? Public schools, and there are some private schools that regular schools that you find that uses the Nigerian curriculum. Yeah, they practice a lot of rote learning. Rote learning is where you're just expected to memorize things. You're just expected to memorize information without understanding. La cram, la pour. What you memorize, just put it down the way I have taught you. And we move on to the next subject. And we move on to the next concept without actually checking to see if these children understand. We still practice rote learning in regular Nigerian schools. It's only when you're talking about international schools, we know them. Yes, they now decide to move learning from being teacher-centered to student-centered. In UK, US, these advanced countries, learning is now student-centered. You are you as a teacher, they will tell us that you are a guardian, you are a facilitator. You are to facilitate learning. Because these children that you think know nothing, they actually do have information that would aid your teaching. But in our Nigerian schools, there's a lot of rote learning and a lot of subjects that is overloading the curriculum. And it's not giving them what they actually need in this 21st century. Right now, children need more vocational skills, IT skills, and it's, maths and English, which is standard. Science. Then some other things that they are learning. You know, I had to go and check the Nigerian curriculum, and I'm seeing for basic 1 to 3, minimum of 7 subjects, maximum of 8 subjects. Why?
It's too much.
It's too much. Why will a child in primary 1 minimum of 7 subjects? That's the normal. That's aside ICT, French, or any other subject that the school would want to introduce.
Okay.
Do you understand? So if the school now introduce phonics,
so it's not
so a child in primary 1 or 2 is juggling 11 subjects.
I think I did 11 when I was.
Like that is a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I worked in that type of school before I, advanced to. They don't really want to. I have first-hand experience. Nobody's really checking to see if the children understand. Seriously. All they are interested in, your lesson plan, is it up to date? Have you delivered the lesson? Move on to the next topic. Do you understand? There's really no time for checking understanding, use of different teaching aids, educational resources to make learning fun for these children. The basic devices and basic resources that you need to make learning fun, some of these schools don't have it. What a child actually needs to learn, first of all, the environment is important. Is the environment conducive? Some of these schools are not even conducive for these children. Do you understand? The government, there are a lot of things that needs to be reviewed. Anybody can create a school in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be. So I think that our curriculum needs a reform. There are some subjects that can be collapsed into one. Like, I think I was seeing that they have to do basic science, basic technology. There's Nigeria, there's creative art, cultural. I'm like, you can just collapse it. Fine, we can keep science. So you can have math, English, science, right? Then that tech, creative art, cultural studies, there's character education, there's moral education, there's social studies. Collapse those ones collapse it into one, and you can decide that, okay, in first term we're going to work on social studies. They don't need, see, these children, they don't need everything, because it's rote learning. You're not checking their understanding, so it's just memorize. They just want them to memorize all of these things. These children, sometimes they don't really understand what they are learning. And that's why you see Ajebo would be smarter than the normal Nigerian child that is going to one school in your streets. You would see those ones in Lekki VI, they talk smarter, they act smarter than these other children. Not because they are knowledgeable than this Nigerian, not let me say they are all Nigerians, than these kids that are in your area. But because they've been exposed to a different kind of learning. They've been exposed to a different kind of information. That is required for this 21st century. When you ask that child that is in your area, like, oh, what is this and what, they don't really know. In our curriculum, we don't expose them to global, knowledge. They're not knowledgeable about it. So there's some things that they just need to take away.
If I'm going to ask you, so what curriculum do we use in Nigeria? Because I know some people say we use the British, some people say we use the American, some people say there are some schools that are just basically American. So if you want American education system, you take them to that school. You have is it American International School? They're in Nigeria and stuff. You pay in dollars, I think. So what's curriculum? What type of curriculum do we use in Nigeria? That's good.
If it's in Nigeria right now,
government approved.
You have different schools. You have different schools. The ones that do strictly Nigeria curriculum. You have the ones that will do a blend, Nigerian curriculum and curriculum from England. Then you have the ones that are doing Cambridge, like where I work. It's Cambridge curriculum.
That's British is Cambridge.
Yeah, so they would say, so what the thing is that there's actually no British curriculum. So it's the national curriculum of England, because Ireland has theirs.
Yeah,
You know, those other
Scotland.
Scots, they have theirs. So they'll tell you the national curriculum of England. We have that. And in that England, they still have the Cambridge curriculum.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Then there is international primary curriculum that is affiliated with UK. UK, yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now in Nigeria, we now have our own. There are some schools that are in affiliation with America or UK, decided that, okay, we are going to have our own school here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we are going to use the British curriculum here, or the national curriculum of England. We are going to use America, like American International School. There's another school, Abraham Lincoln. Theirs is also American curriculum. So
you go Amazing Sunshine.
this Amazing Sunshine will do
curriculum now
Nigerian, yes. And there are some schools that do a blend. So they will do British and Nigerian curriculum
Yeah.
together.
Right.
So there's really not one curriculum that we're using in this country.
I don't know if you saw a video that was going viral because of the week, where the students were speaking.
I saw that thing. I saw it. I was like, what is all this rolling of mouth? I'm not even going. I was like, what is this?
I had to make sure it was not AI. Because
I
the words
saw
that were
it.
coming out from the speaker used
I
to
saw
match.
it.
I was wondering.
I saw
They were
it.
trying to outdo themselves. That's the
Which is
thing
very
with school.
important, because for our schools, I know that we are trying to be in the attempt of trying to be forward looking. You know, let's try to retain some element of what it is to be actually Nigerian, right? As we're adopting the British curriculum and the American curriculum, you know, let's not Americanize our kids too much and they start speaking interesting phonetics because they want to regurgitate what they've learned.
How much of the American curriculum did the Chinese did they adopt for them to be this technologically driven and for them to sit on top of the world right now, you know, as it pertains to technology?
So that question is begging on the fact that our curriculum needs to more.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Yes.
That we need
Our
a serious
educational boards
reform. They need to sit down
and plan that
Yes.
curriculum
Then
Yes.
again.
the
to
way,
address the needs
Yeah.
of, you know,
Of
every
you-
Nigerian child.
the way you guys are talking, I like it. You are talking very as if the educational board will just stand up and say, yes,
Oh,
we are
no.
going to fix it.
No, that's the Nigeria that we are
Yeah. The least you
hoping
can do
to
is to
see.
say that it's
Yes,
for
let's
itself.
speak.
They have bigger fish to fry.
Do you
Yeah, they
understand?
have just to buy.
And that is
They
why
have
you
all
ever say
this
that
stuff to buy.
educators need to start speaking
Speaking
up.
up,
Just
yeah.
the way, you know, people in other sectors
Yeah,
speak
speaking
about
up.
their profession.
Yeah.
We as educators need to speak up and say we are actually suffering.
We have
The
a lot
children
of
deserve more.
educational boards that receive grants from the government.
That's
I think it was Subeb when I was doing my NYC in Osun State. It was Subeb. In Lagos, they have their name. And to be fair, the government does allocate some good amount of money to these boards. But all those guys do is carry bricklayer, brick and cement, do one cupboard classroom somewhere, paint it, and then they say they've done projects. You know, a lot of these educational boards are not doing anything. That's the honest truth. And they're collecting allocation from federal government. So we're calling on them, right? Beyond the curriculum, even the teaching aids,
Yes, training of teachers.
the training of the teachers, right?
It's important.
In this 2025, if there's still a primary school that is using blackboard, we need to flog the principal and all that is concerned in that school. There's no reason why you should be using blackboard with chalk.
Chalk.
Yeah, using chalk.
There's any school doing that.
Do you
They are
understand?
very,
But I think we still do
Some
have
schools don't have
schools like that.
blackboard. Yeah, yeah, it's in co-
yeah,
It's on the
well,
wall, right?
They
Well,
don't have
they-
They just
blackboard.
paint the wall black.
Yes, they literally paint the wall
Yes.
and write on the wall.
On the wall,
I mean,
yes.
we are calling on the podcast right now. We're calling attention to all of those things the responsible parties, Subeb, Ubeb, Bubeb, all of you, Minister of Education, everybody, please. Let's take the future of our children seriously.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah. It's actually
very, very important. If you don't have the money to take your child to an international school.
So, I'm going to also go back to the Bovi that you talked about. Yeah. I'm going to go back to the Bovi that you talked about. For me, the assessment that I'll give to, for that statement is, I think we like to show out Nigeria. Like, a lot of people, their children are still in Nigeria. Bovi went to a Nigerian school and it came out reasonably well. And so it's not that bad. Taking your kid to one American school or one Japan school doesn't mean that they are not going to bully. As a matter of fact, that's when they are even going to bully him very well. Like, where is this black monkey coming from?
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, true.
So it shouldn't be coming out and saying all those stuff. If he takes his children to another, a school abroad, fine, enjoy it. Don't say because they are bullying. So people that cannot take their kids to abroad school, what are they going to do? Kill themselves? So I think we like to just show out in Nigeria, like I better pass my neighbor.
Yes, that one day. That one day. And the thing is that our Nigerian educational system is not that bad. Okay. I see, I have a child that usually comes to, our house during the holidays, and she comes with her books, and I see some of the things that they learn.
Yeah.
And in the level where she's at, I'm shocked at the things that she knows. Because my year 3 children don't know what she knows in year 2. Do you understand? Yeah. So in a way, our curriculum is good, but it needs a serious reformation. It can be great. Yeah. And that's what we keep saying, that Nigeria has a lot of potential to do great things. We just need people to put the right things in place for great things to happen. Yeah. That's just what we need. It's not like we're totally bad.
Good talk. So, education reform needed, and let's try and save the future of our kids.
Coming to you from Funtaqa Junction. Education reform is needed.